German agents had long been watching Lenin. They knew he wanted their enemy Russia out of the war.
Lenin's strong side is his organizational talent. He possesses the most brutal and relentless energy. Lenin's view is, it doesn't matter who wins the war. The defeat of Russia is preferable, victory worse.
Zimmermann counseled the Kaiser to approve Lenin's passage.
Since it is in our interest that the influence of the radical wing of the Russian revolutionaries should prevail, it would seem to me advisable to allow transit.
The Kaiser exploited Lenin as cynically as Lenin used the Kaiser, each thinking he had the better of the bargain. On the 10th of April 1917, Lenin, his wife Nadezhda Krupskaya, and his former mistress, Inessa Armand, boarded the train for Germany with other Bolsheviks. The Kaiser's paying for the journey, jeered rival Russian socialists. You'll be hanged as German spies.
Lenin stood listening and smiled. Hiss as much as you like, he said. We Bolsheviks will shuffle your cards and spoil your game.
To counter charges of working with the enemy, Lenin devised the fiction of a sealed train, claiming total isolation from the outside world. In fact, the group traveled in a regular carriage on a train that stopped frequently, taking 4 days to cross Germany. Though the train halted in Berlin, there's no evidence that Lenin met any German representatives. He knew the Germans were giving money to his Bolshevik party, but avoided direct contact. Germany's greatest help to Lenin's cause was getting him back to Russia. The night he arrived in Petrograd, Lenin addressed the crowd. Some were hostile.
Ought to stick our bayonets into a fellow like that. Must be a German.
But Lenin was soon winning converts, as Countess Irina Skaryatina saw.
Lenin is bald, terribly ugly, wears a crumpled old brown suit, speaks without any oratorical power, more like a college professor giving a lecture. Yet what he says drives the people crazy.
And what he said was, end the war, and by doing so give the people what they want, and what the provisional government had failed to deliver: peace, land, and bread. Zimmermann had agents in Petrograd, monitoring Lenin's progress.
Lenin's entry into Russia successful. He is working exactly as we would wish.
Just as the Germans hoped, Lenin's ideas spread to the front.
The regiments have turned into hordes of bastards, holding meetings led by the Bolsheviks. Military life has come to a standstill. The soldiers want peace, no matter what the conditions are. They want to go home to work the land and enjoy the results of the revolution.
On the 18th of June 1917, news of secret German funding of the Bolsheviks leaked. Lenin fled the city, heavily disguised. But the Bolsheviks countered claims that Lenin was a spy, using printing presses bought with German money. And they set about building worker support, helping arm the most militant to create the Red Guard. Lenin reappeared on the night of the 6th of November 1917, leaving this safe house for the Bolshevik HQ. He knew power had to be seized now.
We must not wait. We may lose everything. The government is tottering. We must deal it the death blow. To delay action is the same as death.
Journalist John Reed was at the HQ.
In the hall, I ran into some of the Bolshevik leaders. One showed me a revolver. The game is on, he said, and his face was pale.
Throughout that night, the Bolsheviks secured key points across Petrograd, with hardly a shot fired. The city awoke to a new world order.
I've just heard some stunning news. The provisional government has been overthrown. The telegraph wires are buzzing with decrees of the new Bolshevik government. All land is to be transferred to the people.
The first thing the Bolsheviks did was to take Russia out of the war, freeing the Germans from a crippling fight on two fronts. Germany's gamble on Lenin had paid off.
The Bolsheviks have brought about the crucial event of the century. They've discharged millions of Russian soldiers and freed the Germans' hands. A hot steam bath awaits the Allies.
Revolution and subversion had released 44 German divisions for the Western Front. Germany now had a chance to win the First World War. In the next episode of the First World War, Germany launches a huge offensive on the Western Front, but her alliances start to crumble. It will be a race between victory and collapse.